My name is James Williams Jr., and I'm about to talk to y'all about a serious issue. So, this is not for kids, and this is from Top Buzz again. And again, this is coming straight out of the TOI, which is um, the Times of India. Alright, so the byline says for raping 10-year-old niece, court sentenced two to jail till death. Alright, now, again, y'all know when I can't say nothing, I spell it out for you. So, first and foremost, get all the kids away from this computer screen because this is just like foul. However, if there's little girls, you should probably let them watch this, and I'll try to keep it PG-13 as best I can with my mouth. But what I'm going to read is probably going to upset me, so I'm probably going to go into a swearing rant. So, please tell the children that these words probably are things that they probably should not say. So, let us begin. First, the TOI, if y'all can see that. And it was covered on TNN. This thing has today, which is November the 3rd, 2017, at 3:06 a.m. IST. I have no idea what any of that is, but there we go. So, CHANDIGARH is whatever that is. So, now we're going to go with the rest of this article. Two maternal uncles of a 10-year-old rape survivor were sentenced to jail, to life in prison, until natural death in that place I just spelled. Court also found each of them RS305LAKH on Thursday. The case was monitored by the Supreme Court after the 10-year-old was moved to the top of the court abortion of pregnancy. The minor rape survivor gave birth to a baby girl, in the thing that I just pronounced, on August 17th after her plea for an abortion was dismissed on medical grounds. Okay, let me stop before I go on. This is why I support the woman's right to choose. This little girl had to have a baby. She's 10 years old. And these two assholes that raped her were her, like, mother's brothers or some shit. Because I think that's what maternal uncles mean. I'm not going to swear to that. But just hearing that alone is the reason why I support the woman's right to choose. No woman being raped should ever be forced to carry her rapist baby. And this girl was raped by her fucking uncles, man. And she had to carry this baby. And she's 10. No 10-year-old girl should ever have to carry a baby. Ever. No circumstances in the world that I can possibly confound to configure, or in a clusterfuck world in which we live, should ever allow a 10-year-old to have a baby. Nowhere on earth should that even be humanely right at all. Moving on. The Supreme Court at the time passed the directions of the century to set up the permanent medical board of each district to avoid delaying permissions and permissions for abortion and underage rape policies. Pregnancy, excuse me. Okay, when the hell does that seem right? She's underage rape pregnancy. She's 10 years old. She's raped. No 10-year-old I've ever known in my life wants to be raped and wants to have the rapist baby. Alright? You see where I'm getting? I'm getting pissed off. I'm sorry. I'm getting really pissed off. The case was registered in July against the elder maternal uncle of the rape survivor who was discovered to be over 6 months pregnant when she complained that her stomach ached. In August, after the DNA test revealed that the rape survivor's elder uncle was not the father of the newborn baby, her second maternal uncle was arrested in September. Another DNA test confirmed that the younger maternal uncle was the father of the baby, who was since been given up by the rape survivor's family. The court termed as an unfortunate case of the victim and for the whole society. No, see, the court failed this girl. No, her family failed her. And this is some shit that just can't stand. This is just not right at all. In any way necessary, that shit is not right. And where the hell was her daddy? Why didn't he kill these bastards? I'd have considered that a justifiable homicide. Refrain from posting the comments that are obscene and disformatory and inflammatory, and does not indulge a person's attack, the name calling, and the illicit hatred against any community. Help us delete the comments and do not allow the guidelines of marking the offense. Let's work together to keep this conversation civil. Keep the conversation civil, huh? That's how it ends? There's nothing more? I got your fucking civil, man. Why don't you hang those guys in prison by their fucking balls? You don't rape a 10-year-old. You don't rape your 10-year-old. You don't rape anybody. And I'm sorry for any swearing that I've done during this video, but just reading that and thinking, Indian culture is a bit crazy. And I'm talking about the ones with the feathers, not the dots. The ones with the dots seem to be much crazier than the ones with the feathers. Now, way back in the day, and I can specifically speak this on Native American culture, they did marry young. There were marriages at 10, but they didn't marry like 40-year-old men and shit like that. But they did get married. And there were, Pocahontas was like 14 when she started messing with John Rolfe and John Smith and all that other shit. Although the stories tend to make her sound more like she was a lady of the night instead of a 14-year-old teenage girl. But back then, there were no laws like statutory and shit like that. We've since grown, like, tremendously brain-wise, and we don't let 10-year-old girls marry men that's like 50 years old and shit. However, I will say this because it has been not just a facsimile, but it has been proven that in India, when they do make these arranged marriages, some of them do marry as young as 10 and 11 years old. They don't generally marry their cousins, but they do marry other Indian nations, and their culture is okay with it. And the ones with the feathers were not really down with that shit. Now, there have been tribal marriages where they have married a young girl who might have been a tribal princess into another tribe so that there could be a bond between the two tribes so that they could fight other tribes. But as far as the Indians with the dots, they have been known to marry very, very young children to grown men. Now, I'm not going to just say it's them because some of the Chinese, some of the Japanese have also done that. But that was in times before we all had fucking morals and shit. But most of the time, in like China and Japan and stuff like that, if the young girl was raped or something, 9 times out of 10 they went and committed seppuku or harikari, and no one would ever figure out what the hell happened until it was way too late. But for this to happen, somebody dropped the ball in this girl's family. I'm not just gonna say it's the daddy, but maternal uncle. What the fuck was her mother doing? How the hell did this happen? This disturbs me. I have nieces. I have nieces. Just got a brand new niece. And to think that somebody could do this to one of them just pisses me the fuck off. But this isn't my country. No, my Native American ancestors didn't do this kind of shit. But I swear, it's it's kind of fucked up to read something like that and think nobody's done something. Roger that. Anyway, long story short, since someone just interrupted my recording, this is disgusting. They need to be executed. There's no place in jail until a natural death that is satisfiable. And finally, there is a special place in hell for people like that. And eventually, they will have to answer to the one true creator. And hopefully, that will happen soon. I'm James Wimpshin. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.